com. And tonight, I know I'm a little bit late. Had a little personal issue. What is this? Uh-oh. All right. Looks like I'm officially on screen for my end. Hopefully, I'm on your end. And again, welcome to the SSN Nation Late Night Financial Money Making Monday live stream with derogatory information. Because we talked about it on Friday, we talking about it again today. Because it's dire. You guys better get on with the program because assets pay you. Save yourself before it's too late. And again, I'm sorry I'm late. I had a little difficulty with a personal matter and I freaked out for a little while, but now I'm back. So, anyhow, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, because once again, I don't have my assets that I need here tonight. I have something going on in the back office, so I can't even do the intro like I normally do. But as you know, welcome and let's get to it. That's how we always started out in case you're new here. Now, let me check some other platforms as well. I can't tell what's happening. This is going to be very interesting live stream. I guess it's going to have to be a podcast. But nonetheless, I'm going to bring something up because apparently it was taken out as well. We talked about this on Friday. It's Money Making Monday. We have solutions for you down below in the description box. We have where you can actually sign up. Findhelp.org to get help. We now know 44% of people living paycheck to paycheck are overdrafted, extra fees they have to pay because they can't pay their credit cards on time, their mortgage on time. They're paying it a little bit later because they got to get another check. 44% of those people are in that situation. There's only 160 million Americans that have a job right now. 8 out of 10, 80% live paycheck to paycheck in case you're not up on this. I am going to go over some other information, but once again, we're going to talk about that here right now because we're going to get into it because I want you guys to see this on the screen. This is being light. They're actually holding back because this is the quarterly money survey, not the 6-month one. Quarterly could be very, very different than the last 6 months. So, Americans living paycheck to paycheck, as you can see here, we're on AI. Google. All right, have incurred late fees, interest charges, or bank overdrafts in the previous 6 months while waiting for their next checks. And then they start giving some numbers out, which, again, I have different numbers than them. But this is what they're talking about. Vulnerability. Around 50% report that going just 1 week without pay would cause major hardship. That's right, in case you're new here and you don't know the numbers. You don't know about findhelp.org that you should be going to get some help if you're in the United States. Put in your zip code to go find out about it. Matthew Lesko, that's right, the late night infomercial king from 30, 40, 50 years ago with that question mark on his suits around the nation's capital talking about grants. That's the guy. He's the one that told us about findhelp.org. But I'm the one that's going to tell you about what he has next. And it's called LesGoLovesAI.com business, because business is what you're going to need. You're going to need assets, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get into this vulnerability, because once again, you guys see what's on the screen. It's right here in black and white. Cash flow, roughly 61% state their pay schedules do not line up cleanly with when their monthly bills are due. You understand they're talking about out of the 44%. Just keep that in mind. Overall scope, roughly 63% of U.S. adults live paycheck to paycheck. Here we go, with 90% of that group retaining less than $500 a month for covering essentials. Remember, it used to be 60% of Americans did not have $500 in their bank account. 70% of Americans didn't have 1,000. The number is a lot higher now, clearly, because I haven't found the numbers or looked up the numbers over the last year and a half since we have included inflation numbers, tariff wars, which means it costs more money, period, gas, all of that. And if what they're saying, clearly, it's no longer 60% don't have 500. It's more like 90 or 80%, maybe not 90, but it's going to be 70, 80%, I would guess, don't even have $500 in their bank account based on what they're saying right here. This is why we have to keep talking about what you're going to have to do, because there's no job that's going to save you. There's nothing that's going to save you if you don't have money. So you're going to need money, but unfortunately, when you have 80% of your population living paycheck to paycheck, you can't save money. So either you default and keep the money, mess up your credit, which that's not a bad option, or you have to keep trying to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, let's get real. Most people watching this right now, you put yourself in a predicament when you said, I want to buy a home, because that was the American dream. They sold you a dream, but that you're paying double for if you pay 30 years on the mortgage. But most people don't think about the numbers. So the thing is, you're going to have to figure something out. And that's why we have to have this conversation tonight. You guys know how we do it here. Solutions. So you didn't like the findhelp.org.com. You didn't like the Lesko Loves AI. Lesko loves AI.com/business. Do you like that? Go over there, get the help you need, free of charge. Here we go. We got somebody in the house. Crybabies here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Late Night Money Making Monday edition. Hi, grow today. Push F we buy. Somebody's in here promoting something. Can't have that, man. Late night. This is what happens when we're late night, but it's okay. You guys see the Stop Struggling Now gear. That's right. Only special people have this one. This one's not even for sale, obviously. SSN Media, that one's not for sale. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we have to do it. So, once again, let's get back to the situation at hand. You guys see the numbers on the screen. Can you tell me what else is going to happen? How about this? How about this? Let's go. We already know the number. It's 160 million out of 350 million Americans. Half of the population have a job. Come on. Let's see if AI figured out what I was talking about, even though I put 9 to 56. Then maybe they thinking I'm talking about 40 hours. How many people work 40 hours? That's another question. How many people don't have mandatory overtime? Okay. 35 to 42% of full-time American workers log a strict traditional 40-hour office schedule. The labor force, 162 million people, ladies and gentlemen. 44% of the people living paycheck to paycheck. So if you have 8 out of 10 living paycheck to paycheck, that means 80% of 162 million people are living paycheck to paycheck. 80% should be, what is 80%? 20% or not. So 32. So basically you only have like 35 million people who's not living paycheck to paycheck in the workforce. That's not a very good number. That would be the millionaires. 35 to 65 billion millionaires. That would make more sense, wouldn't it? I'm just asking because you guys, we're in trouble. The OCs, the ordinary citizens, you guys have a very, very big problem. If you missed my Friday night live stream, I suggest you go check it out because we're on that same path. If you don't own something that somebody needs to rent from you or license from you, then you are going to be DOA in about 2 years. All right? And if you don't know how to fix food and vegetables or grow it in a garden in a box or something, you're going to be DOA as well because you don't know what the prices are going to be. All I know is they're going to be probably double from what they are now. All right? So if you can't already, we got 80% of people living paycheck to paycheck. Imagine what's going to happen over the next year, year and a half. All right? Let's go. Longer hours. Hold on. Nearly 60% of the workforce, over 80 million people, are hourly workers whose schedules fluctuate outside of standard office hours. What type of life are you going to have, ladies and gentlemen? So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're doing. So you're going to be 20 years old, working around the clock, running your body down into the ground, getting unhealthy because you're not getting enough sleep, not getting enough nutrition. Are you guys understanding the situation that you're in right now? This is like a third world country. I told you guys 6 years ago when this all started, I said you live in a third world country, you just don't know it yet. You're about to F around and find out in the next 4 or 5 years. Just saying, because the devastation that's happening right now under this regime, we just now have spent another $1 trillion. Let me show you guys something else. I got to show you this. Here's the other problem. I'll keep going down. Off-peak shifts. About 40% of Americans work non-standard times, such as nights, rotating shifts, or weekends. This goes back to your health. Do you understand if you don't get any REM, your body can't rejuvenate itself? Do you understand sleeping is mandatory, but not sleeping like 4 hours, not sleeping like 5 hours. You got to sleep like 6 to 8 hours. So when you say your boss says, oh, it's mandatory overtime. Oh, you are not playing for the team if you don't stay late. You're messing up your health. They're not giving you nothing but money. Money can't buy your health. Do you understand this? That is an asset. Your health is an asset, and you got to treat it as such. It needs maintenance. You cannot sit here and let these fools jack you and then tell you, hey, we're raising the Social Security wage or the Social Security number to 70. Now, what are you going to do? Work all your life when the average age in America is like 77 to 79 years old? That's your reward? Do you understand where this goes? There's a sense of emergency that should be boiling through your brains right now. We're out here trying to help, ladies and gentlemen. We have solutions. I gave you 2 of the solutions right now. Findhelp.org. Very simple. The other solution, Let's Go Loves AI.com if you want to start a business. Think about that. That's 2 things. And you have consultation that's free. People are going to freely help you formulate your business strategy, your business structure, your LLC, corporation, free. Then you are going to be able to get help for funding because obviously, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're not going to be able to get funding, right? So now they're setting you up to form your company. It's free. You can go find it at Lesko, Lesko, lovesai.com/business. That's what we do here, man. We're trying to help you, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying. But obviously, people aren't paying attention out here. If you knew all of these numbers, like I do and now you do, this is crazy. Listen to this. 39% of full-time employees work over 50 hours a week, and 18% work over 60 hours a week. Do you understand this is detrimental to your health? You're not eating properly. You're not drinking properly, drinking water and fluids, and you're not eating the right food. Our food is tainted. That's why you need a garden in the back, garden in the front. As much garden as you can get. Trees that you plant that bear fruit. All of that you need in your vicinity. But then you're going to need a house, or you're going to need some plot of land, or you're going to need something. But nonetheless, you better start figuring it out because everything's going to cost more. Less people are going to be able to pay corporations for their goods and services. So by default, that means you have to pay more. If you think this is bad, check this out. Average work week, the average worker clocks 34.3 hours per week. You know that's part-time, right? They don't have to pay you benefits if you're under 40. So they automatically started doing this like 30 years ago. Oh, well, you got to work 37 hours. That avoids the 40-hour work week mandatories. Do you understand? You live in a third world country, ladies and gentlemen. Heavily impacted by part-time shifts in the gig economy, of course, because nobody can live on 35 hours a week. They can't even live on 40. Let's get real. 90% of the population can't live on 40 hours a week. Okay? Do you understand where this is going, ladies and gentlemen? I got something else for you, though. Because if you don't understand economics, the reason why the bonds or treasury yield rises above 4% is because if America has to print money, they need investors to buy bonds. That's how we can print money. That's why every country on the planet wants to be the currency reserve country, because you can print money and not get penalized. So well, kind of not, but you don't get penalized. So you're not going to like this now that you understand that. 30-year treasury yield tops 5.31%, the highest in 19 years. Do you understand people don't want to invest in America because they know it's going down? So in order to get people to invest, you have to do some crazy 5.31% 30-year treasury yield, because people know, if you're an economist, you know what's going to come. Nothing is sustainable. We now pay over $1 trillion, more than our GDP, for our military industrial complex every year. Our military industrial complex, let me reiterate, costs more than our annual GDP. That's not sustainable. We're spending over $2 trillion already this year. That's not sustainable. When we don't have money, we're $40 trillion in debt. So where are we getting this $2 trillion? Printing money out of thin air, increasing inflation. So therefore, people outside of the United States are saying, we need more yield if you want us to give you money. Do you understand what happened 19 years ago, ladies and gentlemen? What's that make it? 2005? 2006? You getting the picture yet? Trump regime fanatics? You paying attention? Don't try to blame it on somebody else. Nobody else was dumb enough to attack Iran. Nobody else dumb enough to put tariffs against our allies and Mexico and our other ally, Canada. Nobody said go down and kidnap a president of a country and then steal their oil. Hey, nobody said block the Strait of Hormuz, block the Suez Canal, block all of it. Make oil prices go higher when it was already open. No reason other than we could have went to Gaza and helped out Palestinians and stopped Israel from killing them in the streets, taking their homes. But no, we want to be just like America stands for: lie, cheat, steal, and take from people, just like they did here in America. Nothing's different from the descendants of the EU. So once again, once you understand the descendants of the EU are literally the devil, then you understand they're fake religion, then you understand why they don't give a damn about your ass no matter what skin color you got. But the darker you are, the more they're trying to hurt you. The laws they try to change. That's how it works. That's simple. But that's not good for business. Because that also means the lighter you are going to be hurt as well. Because right now, half the population has a job. So, guess who's not half of the population? Brown and black people are not half of the population, in case some of you are out here racist. Because I got news for you. 15% to 18% is the black population. Nowhere near 50. Brown, Asian, roughly around another 10. So 75%. And by the way, not all black people and brown people are broke. So therefore, the majority, 50% of those people that's going to have a problem out here, 80% of the population is having a problem living paycheck to paycheck. You understand, trying to blame somebody else for somebody else's doing something like doing tax cuts, tax breaks, and subsidies for the rich, giving out government contracts and spending trillions of dollars a day for a war. You can't blame nobody else. And all of you who voted for it, I believe that was 77 million of you, F around and find out, is what you're calling it. Don't try and blame somebody else because you want to protect the pedo rapists. You want to be pedo rapist protectors to boot. And then you want us to listen to you? You guys got a nerve. All right. This is what's hurting the country. Domestic terrorism right on display. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, you're going down. We're all going down unless you have plans. Do you have any way to make sure that you're going to get rental money coming in? Hold on. How come they haven't given us the other numbers? Here we go. Wonder what happened this time. That was a pandemic right here. Funny. Funny how things work out. Look right here. 2005. Where's it at? Over here. Looks like this. 19 years ago. Think about it. How did things go after that, otherwise known as the Great Recession? Make sure you guys smash the like button out here, all right? Once you understand where you live and what country you live in, you might start ringing the sirens. And this thing about no accountability for the ones destroying places and things, running around with people that are masked, costing taxpayers over $1.5 trillion, killing Americans, killing legal citizens, creating concentration camps while taxpayers, us, have to pay $700, $800, $1,000 per day for everybody that's captured at the concentration camp. And you think this is sustainable. And you do realize because of this concentration camp, those people that are there aren't working on the streets in the agricultural departments, in the fields, doing the roofing, building homes. So now when you say there's a home shortage, oh my, guess what? It's going to get worse. You think you have a livability problem? Guess what? You just took out $100 billion out of the ecosystem because you don't like legal residents or undocumented residents or illegal residents working for corporations that hire them, who their CEOs don't even get in trouble. Hooray, you won. Now you done effed around and found out because guess who has all the money? 60 million Americans and 3,000 billionaires. They have the wealth. They have the money. They're liquid. They can move anytime they want. The rest of us is going to be stuck with that 77 million dumbassery situation going down because they couldn't believe a 7-time bankrupt dude is going to bankrupt America, but he's trying his best. Him and his cohorts, his family, and everybody's getting these government contracts worth billions. Their friends, billions. Taxpayers, because Americans are broke. Tax system is broke. Just remember, those data centers are killers. You're paying for the data centers. Your city and council members are taking the money, signing NDAs. Meanwhile, your water supply is gone once they set foot down and start drawing the water. And your toxic chemicals come out of that water and into the soil. Think about that. And you're subsidizing the electric bill because they're not going to build their own electric grid. They're going to use the grid and they're going to get discount rates because, oh my goodness, they're going to take thousands and thousands of kilowatts per hour. So instead of paying the same rate you do for peak usage, they're going to pay a couple of cents while you subsidize the difference. So you think your bill's going to go up even further? Yes, it is. Congratulations. Because they don't teach economics and because, our education system is being defunded by Reagan and the GOP since the last 45 years, what could go wrong? This is happening right now. That's why when I was in school in the 80s, I would tell my professors, you live in a third world country, but you don't know it yet. They'd be looking at me like, come on, what are you talking about? What do you know? I was like, what are you talking about? It's not sustainable. Because every time you give tax cuts and tax breaks, they don't have to pay taxes. The rich don't have to pay taxes. So that means you're putting the burden on the lower class. And then you're capping how much they put into Social Security. No matter how much they make, over $1 million or $2, they don't put no more money in progressively. And because they own businesses, they can hide behind their business structure and therefore say that they get a loan from their business instead of a paycheck. So therefore, you're not going to tax it. So this can only go on for so long. And apparently a lot of people, they don't care because they elected Reagan and then they elected Bush 1. So you go 12 years that they had to put their trickle down theory into place, which is AKA tax cut, tax breaks. And then every GOP president has done it, and they've all done a war scenario, which now means who's going to pay the trillions of dollars for the war effort? Not the rich guys. So this is easy to see what was going to happen. So come on down from the ledge, ladies and gentlemen. We got something for you. Findhelp.org. Go there. You can get help with your down payment, get help with your rent, get help with your bus passes, get help with your caregiving, get help with a lot of things. Put in your zip code if you're in America. And then you go see, you want to start a business? You don't know what to do? Here's what you do. Number one, lescolovesai.com/business. You don't know anything about business. Go down and get the free counseling. Talk to people. They're free. They're there. Call up. I want to come down. I don't know how to start a business. Go down there and deal with people that actually have done it, who can tell you this is what you need to do and how you need to structure if you want to get an SBA loan from the government. If you want to get an FHA loan, if you want to get a USDA loan, they can help you out. I'm imploring you right now. Don't sit here and wait for another year to go by because you need to start something now. We have a deadline coming up, self-imposed deadline. 2 years, 8 months ago, I sat right here. Eric says, and I'm going to start my Eric Says shorts again. 3 years ago, I said, December 2023, I said, here's the countdown. You better have your 775 credit score. You better have a business or real estate outside of America. And you better have a bank account outside of America jurisdiction. Those are the 3 things I told people to do. If you took heed, congratulations. Because those people that took heed bought property back then outside of the United States. Guess what? If you count the appreciation, a lot of people are happy. So they can tap into some equity potentially or sell and make money. The bank account can stay offshore. Because once they start, well, they've already started taking people's money out of their bank accounts. You guys don't know nothing about that because they didn't do it to 30 or 40 million people. They only do it for a few million people a year. You didn't know they take people's brokerage accounts. You don't know what they're doing to old people when they're going to the banks and the bank's executives are taking money out of people who are 70, 80 years old who don't go to the bank, siphoning off their money. You know what country you live in? You can bribe our government officials. They can lie to you. Let's get real. The reckoning is coming. So the 3-year countdown ends December 31st, 2026. So when the stock market's doing this, you better be paying attention. That's a sign. That's what happens right before a recession. That's what happens right before there's a financial fall. It's one thing to go up and down on a day, but going up and down a few times a month, high, low, highs, low, highs, low. Man, the best thing that you could have done is learned how to do trading that we talked about starting last year. Over a year and about 2 or 3 months ago, we started talking about it, and I gave you guys the Candlestick Trading Bible. Gave you a whole year to hone your skills. It's funny how things work out. Now, it is high risk, high rewards, but at the fact you can feed yourself. It's a fish situation. You can start with 1,000, but I digress. That's what you got. You can't do 200-300 like these people say with it. Charge for their courses. This is the no guru zone. I don't charge for courses. We try to help you. Speaking of that, let me get some things down here. Let me put some things down. Let's start right here. Let me see if this is one of them because, yeah, let's go with this right here. I'm going to put some some links down in the chat room. I'm not going to be on here too long. I'm just going to tell you right now, we'll just do about another 15 minutes because I see you, DK. Welcome to the SSN Nation late night money making Monday live stream. All right, here's what we got. I got all this information. We have new people. Make sure you guys smash the like button because all of the social media platforms suppress us. Does not matter, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because whenever you try to help people and you bypass the gatekeeping system and you can help yourself, that's why. Because when you try to help people without charging them, you're a threat at this point. Remember that. All right? Just remember that. I get tired of listening. This is the whole reason I started watching this YouTubes and all this stuff 7 years ago. I'd be on YouTube. I'd see all these guys saying, I made $1 million. I made $5 million. I made $500,000 this year. And all of them would say, but buy my course. And I'm like, why are they going to buy your course? Why don't you just tell them? What difference is it? You're making money. So why can't you just share how you're doing it? Why do you need them to buy your course? You should raise an eyebrow when somebody's saying, I do this, I do that, I do this, and the next thing you hear, buy my course. I'm like, what do you need my money for? I thought you were making millions. Thought you were making 500,000 a month, 200,000 a month. I don't know. What are you talking about? Why can't you just tell people to help? A rising tide lifts all boats, doesn't it? Look where we're at right now. All right? Disgusting. So anyhow, I've been here. We give you free help, free information. We give you tools that you can actually use. When we are talking about going outside the country to buy real estate, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry because pre-construction, what more can you ask for, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get real. Come on. So if you knew that, what else are we going to do here? I got a few things that I'm going to put down. I don't know if I can, though. I'm going to see if I can put these all in the chat room. I don't think it might. I got a few things for you. The Candlestick Trading Bible's in there. The CoinX. You don't know how to trade? The Candlestick Trading Bible's in there. But download CoinX. That link is down there. Why? Because CoinX is not a part of the regulated system in the United States. You use crypto to upload. Bang. Crypto's there. Download your winnings using crypto. It goes outside the United States jurisdiction, right? Because you have a bank account. Or Maybe you don't have a bank account outside the United States. Shame on you. But if you want one, then here's what you do next. You get a Bankus card. Why Bankus? Because Bankus is a company that's in, whoa, what's this? That's in Mexico. And what is this? Hold on a second. I have a few things that I need to see right here. Okay, I see what's happening. I need to get rid of that. They have a debit card, but tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern, check their Zoom call. I gave you a link. Please use the link I gave you to download the app because you can refer other people to make more money because some people are making money by referring people. Some people are making money because the people they referred upload money because it is a Visa debit card. It's like a prepaid card. The money you send there, your crypto, you can use on a debit card. That's right. You want to see mine? Here you go. Hold on, let me go find mine. Just so you can see, there's a plastic card and there's a metal card. I opted for the plastic card because it's $50. It's that simple. All right? That simple. It's legit. All right? But they have their 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. The Zoom call information is there for you. But download using my link. And the other thing about this is you can send money to other Bankus members. So a person can have a Bankus card, and if you said, hey, I need $500, I'm in Mexico. Well, you don't have to, I'm in Europe. I'm anywhere in the world. I can send you internally the $500, no fee to either one of us. And it's there in less than a minute in your account to use. That means people who have children going to college or living abroad or traveling abroad, either way, you can make money by sharing, referring. Every time somebody uploads, again, you make money a little bit. You get a little bit. It ain't like that's the thing. But all I'm trying to say is I just happen to like what they do because I have a reason to download money over there. You understand? It is not an exchange. It's an endpoint. Just when you send it there, it's there. It's like a prepaid card. There's nothing else to do. You're not being able to trade. You can't do none of that. Otherwise, that changes over into a different jurisdiction. They just simply do a prepaid card that happens to be crypto. Legally in Mexico and legally everywhere because they are not an exchange. So you got to love some of these things, but you can find out a whole lot more because they have a whole lot of stuff that's coming that I don't like to talk about because I'm not really trying to really use it as a mechanism to make that much money. I'm just trying to share something so when you're outside of the United States jurisdiction and something happens, they won't be coming to get your bank accounts. They won't be coming to get your brokerage accounts. All right? You guys should Google and put yourself into YouTube. You'll see. Has that happened before? Yes. All right. Again, we're at 38 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm going to put this on the podcast and make sure on the podcast, you guys, hit your star, hit the box, hit the check mark, hit the heart button, whatever you got to do. Make sure you show some love because nobody else out. I shouldn't say nobody. There's obviously people that try to help you. Now, I got into this over 39 minutes, which is not that bad. But we always have more to discuss. Biz, buy, sell. BizBuySell.com. Why? Because people are going to be doing what they should be doing, trying to exit their business because the business is not making that much money. So if you have a vision, you might be able to find somebody that's willing to do something crazy as things like this. Because they have a business, they realize nobody's going to give them $300 or $500 or $1 million. They just want to get out. They've been doing it for 25, 30 years. You come in and said, oh my, I see where I can turn this into something special. There are people willing to say, here, take it so I can go home. This thing makes about $25,000 a month profit. So in order to pay me my $300,000, you give me $5,000 a month, or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. It doesn't matter what the number is. If you can live with it, you can live with it. There's people that are doing that because they are getting older. And there's people doing it because they recognize the writing on the wall for their particular rendition of the business that they're running. Everybody runs business differently, right? Some people see a gold mine when others are flailing. So once again, just keep all of that in mind while you're out here. bizbuysell.com. You'll find people, like I said, giving away their businesses because they can't sell them. They turn it into, okay, give me 10,000 and then pay me back, or 5,000 or 2,000. Pay me back out of the proceeds. It makes enough profit. I just don't want to do this. I got to work 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I don't trust anybody else. That's why I'm here. I want to get out. There's opportunity right now coming in all kind of phases. You can go to discount lots. I'm not going to say do this right now. Discountlots.com. Put that down when you should have your pen, pad, and papers ready when you come here. When you go to discountlots.com, there's a no credit check, no qualifying. You can take payments. They do take payments for land, whether it's 5 acres, whether it's 10 acres, whether it's a lot. You have options. You're the one that's supposed to do your due diligence. You're supposed to go down there and check out, does it have water, sewer, garbage, and electricity to the site, or water, sewer, and electricity to the site. That's what you're supposed to check. You're supposed to make sure that it's not a city problem around there. There's some issue going on that you're going to be on the hook for to pay. You're the one that's supposed to be the due diligence, not the guy that's selling it. You're the supposed to. You don't ask him, hey, how's things? No, you're supposed to know all this, and you're also supposed to know, are they building a new business down here? And I'm not talking about the data center. Data centers, they will have 1,000 people working to build it. Then they're going to have 25 people or less working there. So don't believe they're going to bring no thousands of jobs. It's all electronic. It runs by itself. They just need a few people to man the positions 24 hours a day. That's it. Meanwhile, you're going to give them tax cuts and tax breaks. And then your energy bills go up and your taxes go up. Congratulations, you lose. No matter what somebody else tells you. So do you understand you're in dire situations right now? We have city councils out here doing NDAs, not to tell the citizens that they're going to do a deal for data centers. They're doing that because citizens woke up and said data centers are bad. They found out. So they're now doing secret deals behind citizens' back. And I don't know how the laws are allowing it, but this is what happens when you live in a compromised country. The laws really matter. All right? Brian P., Mr. Dividend is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday Late Night Edition. The bold edition. Mr. Dividend's here. He's happy. Happy day, Eric. Thank you so much. I hope all is well with you and your family. It was well. Talking to the love of my life, and then all of a sudden things didn't go well. Just bad. All right. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. I love it. Give it a 1 piece, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, I got to say, I got something that's going to be coming out, but all I can tell you right now is I made it a mandatory date. January 9th, 2028. Mark your calendars. Is when so far, it looks like a massive takeover of a whole industry is going to go down. Just mark the calendar. January 9th, 2028. If we get there, we get there. I'll know more, but I'm not going to be able to tell you anything for another few months. And even then, I'm skeptical to tell you because it's going to be one for the ages. This isn't something, and again, this isn't like my other deals where I had to get my boys who I haven't been doing financing for years, and I was relying on the old guard, and they were trying to tell me they're still the same. Yes, Eric, we got the funding, we got this, we got that, just like old times. Do your thing. As it turned out, no, they did not have the funding. They were just trying to make me believe that they were still the guys. But when the rubber met the road, when I needed a few hundred G's or 30 G's or whatever it was a few hundred, all of a sudden the money got funny. I said, okay. I couldn't pull over the takeover of the DR, but it's okay. This time, no funding needed. We taking over regardless. All right? And that's what's happening. So January 9th, 2028, mark your calendar. Come back to the stop. No, forget that. Mark that first as a calendar. January 9th, 2028. Then come back May 2027. Then we'll start talking. All right? So we got 6, 7, 8 months. Then you're going to be hearing me talking some big mess, but I probably will not give out any information. But we will have some offers. That's right. And we may have offers before that. It's just that I'm just letting you know. Mark those May 1st, 2027 and January 9th, 2028. All right? You don't want to you come back to the Stop Struggling Now channel. All right? We're going to have something. I'm going to have something. You guys know I always have to try and include you guys. Whoever watches or hears my voice, the OCs are what matters to me. It ain't about the money. It's about the gatekeepers. And once you realize what the gatekeepers are actually doing out here, they are the mob. In fact, nah, probably shouldn't. I'm trying to think if I should say anything about this. But I'll just say it because there's a lot of people that are in the entertainment business who are artists, who may be in a certain part of the entertainment business. And then they are told that there's no money to be made. But the people that work in certain positions, they know there's money. But let me just put it to you this way. If you're in the entertainment business, it's very hard for you to get to the top because the top is where the gatekeepers stay. So if you are an actor, a musician, or anything in between, producers and things like that, you make more money as you get higher up in the chain, but you become part of the gatekeeping system once you move up higher. So let me give you something. I'll just use this for instance. I did not know just today, because I've been doing some research on how systems work, because you want people to rent from you. So that's why you have Microsoft, the tech companies now on a lease program, rental program. That's why you have, I'm using EV Mux, used to use StreamYard. That's on an annual or a monthly plan. It's renting to help me facilitate this, which I don't even have to use. One of these days, I might have to figure out how to use OBS. Okay. But the point is this. All these guys are gatekeepers. They're the mob. You know, when the mob opened up Las Vegas, this is a correlation, and they got different casino, and then they got another casino, and then they skimmed money off the top from each part of their operations. So you have a restaurants here, we're going to skim from that. You got a casino slot machines, we're going to skim from that. You got casino table games, we're going to skim from that. We got some gangsters coming in. You're going to drop your money in the cage? Great. We're going to skim from that. You got some chips to give us in return for our money? Yes, we do. Money laundering? No problem. That's why they came to Vegas. Because every piece of the action, parking concessions, you got to be with the union that we control. You want to build this stuff? You got to build it with our union workers. You want to get cement? You better get it from these guys. They skim money off the top. So somebody would say, oh, there's no money into doing these businesses that the mob is doing because the trickle down effect of this, nobody makes money hardly. It's very hard to make money after money's skimmed off the top. There leaves money for just the top layer. The other workers, oh, you got to work on tips. You got to be the parking valet. What does it look like we're going to give you guys $50 an hour out here? Come on now. Why would we do that? We're going to make sure you do cigars, cigarettes, drinks for $3 or $5 or $7 per hour, and you're going to work on tips. You think we're going to give you freaking $40, $50 an hour? We're skimming all of that. That is what's going on in America. Do you understand? So, back to the story at hand. I usually do story night Friday nights. Here's what happens. Today, because you guys already know I was interested in doing a live music show. So, due to personal reasons, I can't do it. But I still like to do research in my spare time because I want to kick their ass. So I'm still doing research just in case something pops off. I have to do certain things to make sure it pops off. But I find out because I wanted to do a live music show, I can't go down. I want to control everything. I can't go down to Fox or ABC, CBS, NBC. I can't go down there and say, hey, I got this idea, because they're going to be, oh my, I'm going to take it. And oh yeah, we're going to cut you a check. Yeah, we're going to give you like 1 or 2 percentage points every month, maybe. But hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. We can't even do that because this is $30, $40, $50 million a year. Do we really want to give the man 1%? Nah, we're gatekeepers. So here's the thing. So some people would say, how come there's no new networks that show up beside the major four? How come there's Amazon and Netflix are the wide known, and then of course the big dogs, the HBOs, which is basically backed by Hollywood. You have Peacock, you got all these other apps. But notice they're all within the same grouping. They're not like separate. They're just like, hey, you got my stars, you got my other apps that the majors control. The movies, the shows that come out. Guess what? Everybody has to be in the union. SAG, Screen Actors Guild. You can't do a movie on our platform or on our networks unless everybody is in the union. And since we have a gazillion dollars, we can pay the union wages. But for all of you competitors who don't have millions of dollars, trying to pay a crew and actors and everybody union wages such as $3,000 a week, $4,000 a week, $5,000 a week, and you have 7 actors in your movie, they get a weekly paycheck. You have cameramen, they get weekly paychecks. Think about this. So, you're not going to be able to sustainably go, oh man, I got to pay 20 people average $5,000 to $7,000 a week. Who's going to be able to make a movie? Seriously. So let's just say you are able to do that. But now what? You still are going to have to pay for extras. Locations, where's your location going to be? How much are you going to have to pay? You got to go get an investor, right? Because you're not going to have 2 million, 3 million, 5 million to make this thing. You're going to have special effects? I hope not. Because if you are, You better find somebody that can do it. Oh, and they better be in the union. Everybody has to be in the union because you are a union movie. So now that limits the amount of movie makers that can get their main films out. So the independents, they can't really afford that type of money. So obviously they can't compete on the daily. They can compete sometimes. Sometimes an independent film can't break through because somebody invested 2 million, 1.5 million, or $1 million. But the fact of the matter is, you understand what's happening. They're gatekeepers by default because they realize nobody else can join us. So we can do whatever we want. We know the competition can't catch us because they're not going to spend $50 million, $25 million, $10 million to make a movie in general. They can't. And after they do that, they don't have the distribution network because once again, you didn't make the movie in 4K with the Reds 922, 920. You don't have none of that. Oh no, you can't. We can't play this in the theaters. And heaven forbid, if you use no SAG, Screen Actors Guild, union workers, and you have a non-union film, guess what? Can you believe what the gatekeepers did? Theaters. That's right, the movie theaters. Amazon, Netflix, all your favorite platforms, they signed an agreement. No non-union movies can be played. Woo! I didn't know this. That means even if I'm an independent, that's why they can't get them in the movie theaters if you are non-union. You're blocked. You don't get to be on 3,000 screens, 4,000 screens, 2,500 screens when you open. Can you believe that? I thought this was competition. I thought this was capitalism. Oh no, gatekeepers unblocked. They made it very difficult out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are making money in here. That's right, Mr. Dividend, making his dividend money. Exactly. Exactly. Look who's in the house, Mr. Light. Welcome to see you once again to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday Late Night Edition. And he brings his tagline, hello all, I'm here in the house. Nice to be here as always. Eric, what would you tell some who has 10K that's sitting there, not ready to use anytime soon? Hey, I would be thinking about getting me like a 4.7, 4.8% from the bonds. Because I can cash those out anyhow. Get the 30-day or 1 year. Give me my 4%, 5% every month. I know that's not sexy. But all I'm going to say is that's what I would be doing. Hey, taking high risk, high rewards for 10K. I don't have any suggestions. The only thing I have is whatever you want to put that money into, you better make sure that you're getting a return. That's it. And I'll even go further. I'll go further because there is such a thing, FHA loans. FHA loans can get you up to a dupe. Okay, first of all, an FHA loan can buy you a house, that's a liability. An FHA loan can get you a duplex where the person that lives in the other unit, they at least give you money to help you pay for the unit you live in because you have to live there 1 year. But if you're going to get an FHA loan, you're supposed to get a fourplex. You live in one of them for a year. The other 3 people are paying you rent. That's how you pay your mortgage. So, depending on where you live, Mr. Light, I'd be looking at that 10% down because I only need 4, right? So hear me out. If I only need 3.5% down payment for every $100,000, you can start saying, I can look for a $300,000 quadplex somewhere. See what the cash flow looks like. Because all you need is a 580 and up credit score. Literally no barriers to entry. And you could be off to the races with other people paying your rent. 3 units that could pay your mortgage. And since your mortgage is only going to be around a 4 or 5%, it's going to be pretty low. $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Let's get real. You see where we go with this, ladies and gentlemen? And you can just chill out too, because in about a year, my prediction, things are going to be in dire situations. People are going to be trying to get out. Help, let me out. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a couple of things that I would start looking at. Or let's go several routes. Let's go several routes. Anyone advice is welcome. There you go. Anybody? That's right. Give the man some advice, even on the rerun, on the replay. Give him some advice. The course thing, no, I'm not a fan. You have to use this money better count. The economy, in my eyes, is going down in about a year. I gave you guys a runway. That's why the deadline was 3 years, December 31st, 2026. I always give you at least a 6-month runway. So I have to stay true to my initial prediction. June 2026 is your deadline to have your 775 credit score. Why that? Hear me out. The man has $10,000. Does he possibly have more? Because if you have a credit card and it turns out that it's 24 months, which they do have now already, I'm waiting on the 36-month one at 0% interest. You get one of them. That's why you need the 775 or higher credit score. You get one of them 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, and don't have 10, 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, $20,000 line of credits or higher, because now you have down payments with a 0% interest. And now you're going to have another interest if you get a loan of 3%. Do you understand? No money out of your pocket, and you can buy something and only have a 3.5 to 4% loan. Do you understand how powerful that is for a $350,000 property? If you can find it that has a fourplex, that's usually in the Midwest and things like that. But nonetheless, you do the numbers, you do the math. You're an investor. You know how much you're supposed to make. All right, keep it up. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do here. That's what we do. Check your emails. I can't check the emails, man. I haven't been in my emails. Ever since I found out about that SAG, Screen Actors Guild, and how they're blocking people, making people have to do in the film and film industry, that I just couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, no wonder this happens. No wonder all these independent guys can't make anything happen. They have to be in the union. And here's the other worst part. Let's say an actor, I already mentioned this, an actor is part of the union that you hired. The fact that you made a mistake and hired that one person as a union member, everybody's going to be a union member. Think about that. Because at that point, you're going to get shut down. Because the union guys are going to come to you, and guess what else? It costs to be in the union. They're going to come, SAG's going to come to you, or DWA or DG, they're going to come to you and be like, we got to shut this down. They're going to shut you down unless you comply. Just saying. Just so you understand the landscape. So that's why the rich get to always stay rich. The guys that have the assets, the guys that have the films, the studios, those are assets. Because somebody's going to have to rent from them. Think about this. Again, that's what era we're in. We're in the rental era, the leasing era. If you don't have the assets that somebody's going to lease from you, you're going to take a huge L in the next year to 2 years. Okay? Because when this thing goes down, I hope you were around during the Great Recession, because it's going to be on similar planes or worse. Because this time, it's not just 40 or 50% of people that's already living paycheck to paycheck. It's 80. All those people, 80% of the 160 million workers, are going to lose everything. And guess what? There's nowhere to go. Okay? Arthur T, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday Late Night Edition. And he brings the strength. That's what you're all going to need out here. But hey, just remember, findhelp.org, that can help you right now. Go look. Your city, they have help for you. They have money for you. It's there. You got to make the phone calls. Nothing's easy. Lesko, Lesko, loves AI.com /business. You want free help, counseling, tutelage, education, help with funding to write the paperwork, get the paperwork right for funding? What are you waiting for? Matthew Lesko, late night infomercial king. Over 45, 50 years, he's been helping people get government grants. He's the man. He's giving some help. Go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Arthur. Very nice to see you in the house. Thank you so much. I'm going to be done because it's 1 hour and 5 minutes. This is going to be on the podcast, iHeart, iTunes. Thank you guys for listening on the podcast as well. Make sure you smash the star button for favorites, the heart button, the check box. Whatever you got to do, make sure you let people know we in the house. I gave you the Bankus card. Oh, wait, I didn't put the Bankus in here, I don't think. Remember, tomorrow, check them out. That's a crypto debit card. It's a prepaid card. You're sending your crypto to the card. It's not an exchange. That's why they can do it. It's in Mexico, which means that goes with my second tier of what I talk about from 3 years ago. The second tier is bank account or business outside the United States. In case you're new here, the other part to the 3-part is 775 credit score, and the other part is bank account outside the United States. The Bankus can do it because Bankus is in Mexico, outside the United States jurisdiction. So when you upload your crypto down there or download your crypto to it, if you refer other people, like how I have a referral link, and they upload and they refer other people, they send you a little check. It could be kibbles and bits, $2, $5, 50 cents, doesn't matter. It's whatever somebody uploads. Then you get like 1% of it or something. It's not anything major, but I guess if you actually tried to get 100 people signed up, then of course you would have a major check. But I'm just saying that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that you have an option. So when everything goes down, you don't have your money sitting in a Bank of America or Wells Fargo that goes down. And you can't get access to your funds because you have your money sitting somewhere else. That's always a wise solution. You got to have options, just like you should have your duffel bag of cash somewhere at your disposal. That's right. Duffel bag of cash, ladies and gentlemen. You got to keep it that way, right? You got to keep it that way. Because you never know what's going to happen out here. Some of us do know. It's happened before. All right. Let's see what else. Brian P., he's the man that helps out with the recall, the PSAs. The only way we can get to that right now, because I don't want to be on too much longer because I wanted to put this on the podcast networks. And I didn't want it to be a 2.5, 3 hour one. But I want to thank everybody for listening because it's been over an hour if you started listening to this. Hopefully I've given you something to do, something that you can think about. And again, I keep talking about your life stories. You can create a book, audio file. You can get money because you can load it up to Amazon. You can load up an audio file, listen to the book. You can even make chapters, right? So the book, when it's on the audio, can go by chapters. So now you have something else. You got AI. So you can talk, create an AI to listen, and it'll do the story. You only own the copyright. Your AI, you can't copyright. You only own the copyrighted works that you do. You put it in AI. You can make vertical media, stories. Make each chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a separate vertical for the next 60 seconds. Ad revenue comes from that. That means you make money. Even though Somebody can copy your video. Somebody can copy your short story, so to speak. But copyright wise, they can't copy your voice. All right? That's IP, your voice. If you use AI voice and use the images from AI, then they can steal the whole thing and you get no compensation. You understand, I hope. All right? That gives you something. You have a story to tell. Tell it. Maybe somebody would like it. Maybe somebody won't. But how much does it really cost you now? Because you can self-publish. You can put yourself on Amazon. You can put yourself and put things on TikTok and social media platforms. Don't worry. I got something for you. We got something for you. I got help. We got something for you. Just not coming out right now. Like I said, we got something coming out for you. But it's going to be a minute. What's going on here? Oh, they started doing something here. Hold up. Oh. Wow. These guys. Wow. I'm using Chrome and all of a sudden I have some new login messes that came up. Interesting. Scary at the same time. Very scary. I don't like messing with the gatekeepers because they track you. They're tracking you at your detriment. Did you guys know they do geofencing? What that means is, let's just say you're at a certain location and they geofence the location, meaning that area. Let's just say it's the zip code. So only you and who's ever in that zip code gets the advertisement. Now, some would say no big deal, but here's the problem. That's tracking. That also means they could be tracking your behavior, what you're doing, what you're buying, all of that. So just think about it. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Is it? Is it? Not good. Uh-oh. I can't see. This is what I hate. I got these gatekeeping situations, right? We need some authenticators and all this stuff. It's not good. And they track you, which is the worst part. All this is trackable. While you're out here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you don't want to be tracked. You don't want flock cameras sitting around either. All right? Here we go. We will get some couple PSAs courtesy of Mr. Dividend. Trying to help people out around here. It's treacherous. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's treacherous out here. You guys better hope nothing happens to me. Just saying. Granola sold nationwide on Amazon recalled over salmonella concerns. Of course. Is there any shock by this? This is what's happening. This is going down. By the way, we have some people watching, and I guess I found an old clip. I've been playing it. Oh, wait, I can't even play it. Oh, my God. If it plays, let me see if it's going to play. Nope, it's not going to play. Well, I was going to play an old landauction.com infomercial. Every 8 to 10 minutes, they would run this infomercial loop on their hour-long infomercial. And I'm in it, briefly, explaining to people what you can do for like a 5-second clip, even though it was really like a 5-minute interview, but they clipped 5 seconds. That's about it, as they did everybody's. But nonetheless, CDJ, I see you. Thank you for being on the Instagram platform as well. All right, let's go. Let me see. We're in. I'm pretty sure I'm in, right? What happened? We're in. Okay, this is what he's talking about. The granola. You've already said too much because it's wasn't it nationwide? Granola sold on Amazon nationwide. Oh, we need the name of this. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I need a name. We need a name, right? We need a name. All right, we got dog food. Also recalled for salmonella contamination in the tri-state area. Which tri-state? New York, Philly? What are we talking about? The Northeast or Minneapolis? What tri-state are we talking about here? We're gonna have that too. We're gonna check that out. All right. Let's see. Local cattle farmers brace for Tyson closures. By the way, did you know 400 people got laid off from Tyson today? Hashtag told you so. All right. Tried to tell you guys this is what's going to happen when you have tariffs. This is what's going to happen. And then when you make deal, when you have tariffs, that means the people that's going to buy is going to go find other sellers. In this case, people went to other countries to buy their beef. So now our cattle farmers have a problem. No shocker. Hashtag, what am I saying? We talked about this already 2 years ago. Talked about it 5 years ago. Tariff wars are not good. It's that simple. Quit playing. But now, this is the last time we got to worry about it. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's that bad. That bad. Let's go see what this granola is. They didn't tell us. See, I don't understand why they don't put it in the headlines. Okay. It's a high risk out here for having children right now. You're not going to know if they're apparently not going to get vaccines anymore. Things that were basically done is now coming back. This is crazy. I mean, this is so out of hand, like a third world country. I can't even believe it. But anyhow, there's the link for you guys can go